Namaste. Welcome to Samskriti. We are now in Sarga 6 of Aranyakandam of Adhyatma Ramayanam. Pondering over the events that had occurred and reflecting on them at night, the wise Ravana decided on a course of action and went to the residence of Maricha on the other shore of the ocean. There, Maricha, who was attired like a hermit, was contemplating on the Nirguna Brahman, the Supreme Being who, though transcending the gunas of Prakriti, was yet reflected in the gunas. After he obtained external consciousness from the depths of Samadhi, he found Ravana standing in front of him. Seeing Ravana, Maricha hastily stood up, embraced him, and duly welcomed him. And when Ravana was seated comfortably, he asked him as to why he had come alone in a chariot and if something was worrying him. He persuaded Ravana to divulge the reason, assuring that if it were righteous and proper, then he shall accomplish the work which Ravana wants him to do. Ravana replied, talking about Dasharatha, the ruler of Ayodhya, and his eldest son Rama, who was noted for his truthfulness and heroism. Dasharatha had sent that son, along with his wife and his younger brother Lakshmana, to the forest. This Rama was now staying in an ashrama at Panchavati in Dandakaranya. Ravana had heard that Rama's wife Sita was capable of enchanting the three worlds by her bewitching beauty. Ravana told Maricha that Rama had killed his most valorous, mighty and innocent demons along with his brother Khara. Living in the forest happily and fearlessly, he told that Rama had also cut off the nose and ears of his innocent sister Shurpanakha. So Ravana sought the help of Maricha, intending to abduct Rama's wife Sita when Rama was not around. Maricha was to become a decoy deer and take Rama and Lakshmana far away from the ashrama on some pretext, and just at that opportune time, Ravana would kidnap Sita. On hearing Ravana, Maricha was stunned with astonishment. He then asked Ravana as to who it was who had given him this advice, which if carried out would only bring about their total destruction. He inferred that it indeed must have been an enemy deserving slaughter, as he was devising a way for Ravana's destruction. Maricha then went on to tell Ravana that even as a boy, when he had come for protecting Vishwamitra's yajna, Rama had with a single arrow hurled Maricha into the ocean over a distance of 100 yojanas. Ever since that time, Maricha was terrified. That incident was haunting him so much that Maricha was apprehending the presence of Rama everywhere out of fear. One day, remembering the old enmity, Maricha had gone to the Dandaka forest disguised as a deer with sharp horns. When Maricha rushed towards Rama with an intention to kill him, he was shot by an arrow by Rama. Pierced by that, Maricha spun in the sky before falling in the ocean. After that incident, Maricha, in great fear, had taken shelter in that secluded place, withdrawing himself from all objects of enjoyments. Not only that, he would shake in fear even on hearing words beginning with the letter Ra, such as Raja, Ratna, Ramani, Ratha, etc. For the very sound Ra with which Rama's name begins would fill him with dread. Scared stiff by the suspicion that Rama might come there also, Maricha had forsaken all outside work and was seeing Rama even in his dreams, which made him sleepless for several nights. Maricha therefore advised Ravana that he too should abandon his designs against Rama and go back home. This way, Ravana would be able to protect the ancient demonic race from destruction. He then pleaded with Ravana to pay heed for his own welfare and to abandon enmity towards Rama, who is none other than Paramatma. Maricha asks Ravana to seek Rama with true devotion and dedication, as he is very merciful and compassionate. Maricha further justifies, saying that he had known about certain secret matters from the words of sages. In the Satya Yuga, the Supreme Lord Hari had given word to Brahma that he would grant his prayers. Brahma had then requested that he may manifest himself soon on earth as a human being in the form of Dasharatha's son and slay the 10-headed Ravana who had become inimical to the gods. Maricha warned Ravana that Rama is no ordinary man but the eternal being Narayana himself, who by his mysterious power Maya has assumed a human form and come to the forest fearlessly. So saying, Maricha advised Ravana to return home. Hearing these words of sane advice given by Maricha, Ravana became extremely peeved, and he asserted that if Rama were indeed really the supreme being who had himself come on earth as a man at Brahma's imploring in order to kill him, then he was sure to do it because the Lord is true to his words. Satya Sankalpa Ishwaraha. Therefore, Ravana said that he would definitely make efforts to take Sita away from Rama. He told Maricha that if he were to die at Rama's hands in battle, then he shall attain the highest heaven. Otherwise, if he were to kill Rama in battle, then he would get Sita without the fear of a rival. Therefore, he told Maricha to get ready and assume the form of an attractive magical deer to distract Rama and Lakshmana far away from the ashrama, after which he could return and stay happily in his place. Ravana further threatened that if Maricha dared to speak a single word of intimidation, then he would cut off his head with a sword. Hearing these menacing words of Ravana, Maricha thought that he had very little choice. If Rama were to kill him, then he would obtain freedom from this transmigratory cycle. But if he met with death at the hands of the wicked Ravana, he was sure to be consigned to hell. Thus, preferring death at Rama's hands, Maricha got up and told Ravana he would obey his orders. He then boarded the chariot with Ravana and came to the place where Rama's hermitage was situated. There, he assumed the form of a strange and beautiful deer with silvery spots on a pure golden skin, having horns of gems, eyes of sapphire, hoofs of pearls, the brightness of lightning, and a fascinating countenance. Moving about in the neighboring forest, he reached the presence of Rama's ashrama within the sight of Sita. In one moment, he pranced and bounced playfully, and in another, he came and stood motionless, and again he ran away as if out of fear. In this manner, that impostor Maricha assumed a deceitful form of a decoy deer and roamed about playfully, trying to attract Sita's attention. Moving on with the chanting now. अध्यात्मरामायणे अरण्यकाण्डे षष्ठः सर्गः विचिन्त्यैवं निशायां सः प्रभाते रथमास्थितः रावणो मनसा कार्यम् एकं निश्चित्य बुद्धिमान् ययौ मारीचसदनं परं पारमुदन्वतः मारीचस्तत्र मुनिव जटावल्कलधारकः ध्यायन् हृदि परात्मानं निर्गुणं गुणभासकं समाधिविरमे पश्य द्रावणं गृहमागतं धृतमुत्थाय चालिङ्घ्य पूजयित्वा यथाविधि कृतातिथ्यं सुखासीनं मारीचो वाक्यमब्रवीत् समागमनमेतत्ते रथेनैकेन रावण चिन्तापरैवाभासि हृदि कार्यं विचिन्तयन् ब्रूहि मे न हि गोप्यं चेत् करवाणि तव प्रियं न्याय्यं चेत् ब्रूहि राजेन्द्र वृजिनं मां स्पृशेन्न हि रावण उवाच अस्ति राजा दशरथः साकेताधिपतिः किल रामनामा सुतस्तस्य ज्येष्ठः सत्यपराक्रमः विवासयामास सुतं वनं वनजनप्रियं भार्यया सहितं भ्रात्रा लक्ष्मणेन समन्वितं स आस्ते विपिने घोरे पञ्चवट्याश्रमे शुभे तस्य भार्या विशालाक्षी सीता लोकविमोहिनी रामो निरपराधान्मे राक्षसान् भीमविक्रमान् खरञ्च हत्वा विपिने सुखमास्तेति निर्भयः भगिन्या शूर्पणखाया निर्दोषायाश्च नासिकां कर्णौ चिच्छेददुष्टात्मा वने तिष्ठति निर्भयः अतस्त्वया सहायेन गत्वा तत्प्राणवल्लभाम् आनयिष्यामि विपिने रहिते राघवेण ताम् त्वं तु मायामृगो भूत्वा ह्याश्रमादपनेष्यसि रामं च लक्ष्मणं चैव तदा सीतां हराम्यहम् त्वं तु तावत् साहाय्यं मे कृत्वा स्थास्यसि पूर्ववत् इत्येवं भाषमाणं तं रावणं वीक्ष्य विस्मितः केनेदमुपदिष्टं ते मूलघातकरं वचः स एव शत्रुर्वध्यश्च यस्त्वन्नाशं प्रतीक्षते रामस्य पौरुषं स्मृत्वा चित्तमद्यापि रावण बालोऽपि मां कौशिकस्य यज्ञसंरक्षणाय सह आगतस्त्विषुणैकेन पातयामास सागरे योजनानां शतं रामः तदादिभयविह्वलः स्मृत्वा तदेवाहं रामं पश्यामि सर्वतः दण्डकेऽपि पुनरप्यहं वने पूर्ववैरवनुचिन्तयन् हृदि तीक्ष्णशृङ्गमृगरूपमेकदा मादशैर्बहुभिरावृतोऽभ्ययाम् राघवं जनकजासमन्वितं लक्ष्मणेन सहितं त्वरान्वितः आगतोऽहमतः हन्तुमुद्यतो मां विलोक्य शरमेकमक्षिपते तेन विद्धहृदयोऽहमुद्भ्रमन् राक्षसेन्द्रपतितोऽस्मि सागरे तत्प्रभृत्यहमिदं समाश्रितः स्थानमूर्जितमिदं भयार्दितः राममेव सततं विभावये भीत इव भोगराशितः राजरत्नरमणीरथादिकं श्रोत्रयोर्यदि गतं भयं भवेत् राम आगतैहेति शङ्खया बाह्यकार्यमपि सर्वमत्यजं निद्रया परिवृतो यदा स्वपे राममेव मनसानुचिन्तयन् स्वप्नदृष्टिगत राघवं तदा बोधितो विगतनिद्र आस्थितः तद्भवानपि विमुच्य चाग्रहं राघवं प्रति गृहं प्रयाहि भोः रक्ष राक्षसकुलं चिरागतं तत्स्मृतौ सकलमेव नश्यति तव हितं वदतो मम भाषितं परिगृहाण परात्मनि राघवे त्यज विरोधमतिं भज भक्तितः परमकारुणिको रघुनन्दनः अहमशेषमिदं मुनिवाक्यतः अशृणवमादियुगे परमेश्वरः ब्रह्मणार्थितौ उवाच तं हरिः किं तवेप्सितमहं करवाणि तत् ब्रह्मणोक्तमरविन्दलोचन त्वं प्रयाहि भुवि मानुषं वपुः दशरथात्मज भावमञ्जसा जहि रिपुं दशकन्धरं हरे अतो न मानुषो रामः साक्षान्नारायणो व्ययः मायामानुषवेषेण वनं यातोऽति निर्भयः भूभारहरणार्थाय गच्छतात गृहं सुखं श्रुत्वा मारीचवचनं रावणः प्रत्यभाषत परमात्मा यदा रामः प्रार्थितो ब्रह्मणा किल मां हन्तुं मानुषो भूत्वा यत्नादिह समागतः करिष्यत्यचिरादेव सत्यसङ्कल्प ईश्वरः अतोऽहं यत्नतः सीतामानेष्याम्येव राघवात् वधे प्राप्ते रणे वीर प्राप्स्यामि परमं पदम् यद्वा रामं रणे हत्वा सीतां प्राप्स्यामि निर्भयः तदुत्तिष्ठ महाभाग विचित्रमृगरूपधृक् रामं सलक्ष्मणं शीघ्रम् आश्रमादतिदूरतः आक्रम्य गच्छ त्वं शीघ्रं सुखं तिष्ठ यथा पुरा अतः परं चेद्यत्किञ्चेद् भाषसे मद्विभीषणं हनिष्याम्यसि नानेन त्वामत्रैव न संशयः मारीचस्तद्वच श्रुत्वा स्वात्मन्येवान्वचिन्तयत् यदि मां राघवो हन्यात् तदा मुक्तो भवार्णवात् मां हन्याद्यदि चेद्दुष्टः तदा मे निरयो ध्रुवम् इति निश्चित्य मरणं रामादुत्थाय वेगतः अब्रवीद् रावणं राजन् करोम्याज्ञां तव प्रभो इत्युक्त्वा रथमास्थाय गतो रामाश्रमं प्रति शुद्धजाम्बूनदप्रख्यो मृगो भूद्रौप्यबिन्दुकः रत्नशृङ्गो मणिखुरो नीलरत्नविलोचनः विद्युत्प्रभो विमुग्धास्यो विचचारवनान्तरे रामाश्रमपदस्यान्ते सीतादृष्टिपथे चरन् क्षणं च धावत्यवतिष्ठते क्षणं समीपमागत्य पुनर्भयावृतः एवं समाया मृगवेषरूपदृक् चचार सीतां परिमोहयन् खलः इति श्रीमध्यात्मरामायणे उमामहेश्वरसंवादे अरण्यकाण्डे 6 सर्गः।